USA Radio News with Chris Barnes.
President Trump's denying reports that Health Secretary Alex Azar is on his way out of that job. On Twitter yesterday, the president called it fake news and said the media wants to create chaos and havoc in the minds of Americans, assuring followers that Azar is doing, quote, an excellent job. The reports had claimed the White House was planning to oust him because of criticism of the early response to the coronavirus outbreak. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin is looking for the U.S. economy to rebound this summer.
I think as we begin to reopen the economy in May and June, you're going to see the economy really bounce back in July, August, September.
He spoke on Fox News Sunday. In Georgia, with the virus slowing down, the governor is allowing restaurants to reopen their dining areas today as long as they adhere to many guidelines. And this is USA Radio News.
Balance of nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
I've had a lot of really great days back to back, which has been a huge blessing. Even my doctor told me, because they asked me to bring everything in that I take on a daily basis. He was very encouraged by seeing what I was taking, and he said he didn't care how many I had. He said it's food. And the form that it's in was something that he was very, because he's an avid learner, and he's always researching, and he's always excited to see new things. And he told me, this will be good. This will help you immensely with the nutrition that you need.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Start your journey to better health today by calling 1-800-2468-751 or by going to balanceofnature.com. And make sure to receive this special radio offer by using discount code USA.
Police in Baton Rouge, Louisiana say they're mourning the death of one of their own after a shooting as officers were searching for a murder suspect yesterday.
As a result of the shooting, we lost a 21-year veteran, the Baton Rouge Police Department.
That's the chief, who says a second officer is wounded and still fighting for his life. The suspect did surrender after a 4-hour standoff during which they say he fired more shots at officers. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson says he's ready to get back to work after recovering from COVID-19. The 55-year-old returning to number 10 Downing Street yesterday after spending 2 weeks at his country residence. The White House says President Trump spoke with him by phone a couple of days ago, and the two agreed to work together to combat the global coronavirus pandemic. Wall Street futures up at this hour as oil prices do continue to fall. Dow futures up over 100 points. This is USA Radio News.
Broadcasting worldwide from the Ashby Real Estate Broadcast Studio. This is HIP Radio Network, Georgetown, your hometown station.
Here's your Georgetown forecast from the HIP Radio Network Weather Center. Mainly sunny skies today with highs around 87. South winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Cloudy tonight, lows around 69. Cloudy skies expected again tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 88. Mid-80s Wednesday with a chance for scattered storms. Warmer Thursday with highs in the upper 80s. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently, it's 63 degrees.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The switch is on. Welcome to Good Morning Georgetown with Rob and Ken. Waking you up in the mornings and getting your day started with the hottest hits, news, and jokes. Get ready. And now here's your hosts, Rob Hip and Ken Covington.
Monday. 6:10 a.m. Man, we are getting started early here on HIP Radio Network. Good morning, Georgetown. Hope everybody is having a wonderful start to your day today, and I wanted to welcome you into the broadcast. Thanks for joining us every Monday morning, Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, Thursday, Friday. Not Saturday and Sunday, but seven days a week minus 2, so we'll call it 5 days a week. Here on Good Morning Georgetown. I want to welcome you to the show. And by the way, for everybody that's joining us this morning, the show is moving back an hour. That is why we are on so bright and early this morning. From now on, you'll be able to catch Good Morning Georgetown. We made some of those announcements, but from now on, you'll be able to catch Good Morning Georgetown every weekday morning. We're moved it back an hour because we know there's a lot of folks that wake up early. They want to get their day started, and usually at the 8 to 9, people are already they're already at work, and so many of them can't enjoy this show. So now we've moved it back an hour from 6 to 8. So guess what? You can wake up with us while you're getting ready for work. You can put on the app. If you've got Amazon Alexa, you can easily say, Alexa, listen to HRN Georgetown. You can join us virtually your entire morning from the time you get up on your journey to work and then right before you get started. So I just wanted to say thanks that everybody is able to join us this morning, and we are excited to bring it to you. And hopefully, we may lose a couple of people from moving it back an hour, but I think we're going to gain a lot more. A lot of feedback that I've had on that for me really is because we had it from 7 to 9 for so many years because, honestly, I stay up really late at night working. I mean, sometimes I don't get to bed until 2 in the morning working on things. Well, I finally said, you know what? I've got to really solidify my schedule every day. Now, in the broadcasting world and sports broadcasting, it's a little bit difficult because sometimes you don't get in until early in the morning. But I decided, especially during COVID-19, there's no reason that I can't be in bed by 9 o'clock so I can get up early. In fact, I was up this morning at 4 a.m. Where are my 4 a.m. warriors out there this morning? If you are a 4 a.m. warrior, let me know. Send a text message. Send us a message on Facebook. Many of you are on the HRN Facebook page, and there's quite a few that are watching this morning on my watch party, on my personal Facebook page, and we've even got some folks already up bright and early this morning on the app. And so get up this morning and let's get Rachel Hancock. There you go, over at Something Social, a 4 a.m. warrior. That's what I'm talking about, Rachel. And Tracy Jacobs as well, a 4 a.m. warrior. We're going to start a little movement here on Facebook, hashtag 4 a.m. warrior. You got to get up, got to get started, got to get rolling. And the way to do that is you go to bed early. James Outlaw wakes up every morning at 6:15. He's a 6:15 warrior. But anyways, Mia also saying that she's a 4 a.m. warrior as well. I'm going to tell you, man, I have not been up at 4 a.m. in a long time. In fact, the last time I was up at 4 a.m., I hadn't even went to sleep yet. We were coming back from, I believe it was McNeese, a Sam Houston State football game that I broadcast, and we got on the bus and came back and didn't get back to Huntsville until about 4 a.m. I didn't roll into Georgetown, I want to say, until almost 7 a.m. You know it's late whenever you're driving back into your hometown and the sunshine is still out. The sunshine is there, and you're like, I haven't even went to sleep yet. Hey, I want to welcome everybody in this morning to Facebook Live. We got a lot of friends joining us. James Outlaw. Hey, Edward Steele. It's noon in Scotland, man. I hope you're doing okay. Edward has a really awesome... Edward, shout out your podcast, man. Feel free to comment the URL to your podcast because I really enjoy keeping up with your podcast and seeing all the wonderful things that you do. Feel free to comment with that, man, if you don't mind, Edward. We'd love to see that. He's got a music podcast that is really cool. I met Edward through KSAM Radio in Huntsville, and he lives in Scotland. Gene Edmondson joining us, one of our great sponsors here. Good morning to you, Gene. I hope you are doing well, my friend, over at Gene's Auto Repair. Appreciate you, my friend. Tracy Jacobs over at the Power of 4 team joining us as well. Hey, it's 7 a.m., especially all of you women entrepreneurs here in Georgetown. We're going to have our good friend Nic Cotto of Face Seed Company that is joining us, but she has started a really awesome movement, hashtag I am here. And this is a movement for women entrepreneurs in our community, and she is going to talk about that. And so you want to make sure that you stay with us, of course, at 7 a.m. as well to hear from Nic and all of the great things that she has been working on to help out women entrepreneurs here in the Georgetown community. You guys ready? Let's dig right into it this morning. 6:15 a.m. I know we got some news, and we're going to start with a little bit of national news from the New York Times. We get an update from those guys every single morning. I leave out about half of it because I like to stray away from politics. I don't drink coffee in the morning. Anybody out there drink, and I'm sure you do, of course, but I just don't drink coffee. I've tried it, and I've got really bad acid reflux, and the doctor was like, stay away from coffee and chocolate. I said, you can have one of them. I'll get rid of coffee, and so I don't drink coffee anymore. It just never really helped me. I don't know why. I know a lot of you drink coffee. You got to get rolling in the morning. I just can't do it. USA News this morning. Several governors, of course, weighing in on reopening our country. I know I know that this COVID-19 you're hearing about it every day, but look, it is the news. It's dictating a lot of what's going on here in the United States. It's resulted in many, many, many cancellations, as you know, and you're well aware. So we're going to keep talking about the news and what's going on and what's affecting. Dr. Deborah Birx, the White House coronavirus response coordinator, this from the New York Times, said on Sunday that Americans should expect social distancing guidelines to continue for months. But crowded beaches in Southern California over the weekend highlighted the likely challenges as spring turns into summer. Governor Andrew Cuomo of New York outlined plans that would allow some low-risk businesses in upstate New York to reopen as soon as mid-May. There's about a dozen states that have restrictions set to expire this week. It's unclear whether those restrictions will be renewed. Those are some of the updates. There's been rallies, of course, all over the United States, many of them also here in Texas, wanting us to get back into business and get reopened. I'm going to tell you right now, feel free to give your comments on that. I don't want to get into a political debate, but what are your comments? Should we get back to work or should we not? Many of you, of course, been working from home, but should we reopen or should we not? What is your thoughts this morning? And feel free to share those thoughts. Don't turn it into a debate, though, on my chat stream. I don't like seeing the political debate. We're not dividing. We're just giving opinions this morning. Should we reopen or should we not? What are your thoughts this morning? Other developments, the pandemic has now killed more than 200,000 people, sickened more than 2.9 million worldwide. That according to data that was collected by the New York Times. The actual death toll probably higher as official tallies of undercounted deaths. That's largely due to limited testing. Speaking of testing, by the way, and I don't want to bounce around all over the place this morning because when you have ADD, you bounce around. Williamson County has a new COVID-19 testing site. You can keep up to date with the latest news at hrngeorgetown.com. Also, hey, if you don't, by the way, subscribe to the newspaper. Look, they don't pay me to say that. I don't trade out with them. I pay a yearly fee. It's like $50 a year, and the reason I support the Sun is I've always admired the work that Clark does and his staff over there. Subscribe to the Williamson County Sun newspaper. There is a huge opportunity for radio and print to coexist, and I think that they marry each other harmoniously. Is that how you say it? And I just really appreciate Clark and the Williamson County Sun. I just renewed my subscription. It was like $48, super easy online. And they keep you up to date with a lot of great things here in Georgetown. In fact, we read a lot of teaser headlines from the newspaper to keep folks updated with what's going on in our community. But we also promote news on hrngeorgetown.com. We've got another really awesome announcement here coming in the next day or so, too, that you want to stay in tune here on HRN. With some opportunities that we have that we're really going to be able to promote your business here in Georgetown if you are a business owner, and I'm very excited about that. I can't let the cat out of the bag yet, but that's coming soon. As far as Williamson County, there's a new COVID-19 testing site. We appreciate the county sending us information so we can keep our listeners updated. This was announced yesterday off of hrngeorgetown.com. It's our website. Williamson County residents now have a new way to be able to be tested for the COVID-19 virus. The Williamson County and Cities Health District, also known, of course, as a WCCHD, offering a public testing site to increase the ability of county residents to get a COVID-19 test. The site is for people who are experiencing COVID-19 symptoms. However, this test does not require a visit with the physician. And here's the big thing, friends. It's free of charge. Individuals must take an online assessment based on screening criteria from the CDC. Judge Bill Gravel quoted as saying, "We are offering this new testing option for our county residents who do not have the ability to visit with their personal doctor or go to another testing site to be tested. Online screening tool will be used to access if someone is eligible for COVID-19 based on that CDC criteria that we talked about earlier. The tool will be available today. It starts today, and you can go to wcchd.org/COVID-19/testing.php. Again, it is wcchd.org/testing.php. And I'm going to post that on our Facebook live streams. I know many of you that are listening on the app, you don't see what's happening, but we do coexist with Facebook here in the mornings. The first test will be conducted starting on Thursday. So you can go ahead and do the online assessment tool today, starting today at that website that I mentioned. And then those tests will be conducted starting on Thursday of this week. Individuals expected to receive test results in a few days, depending upon lab capacity. One final remark here, people who are eligible for the test will be given an appointment time and location. Tests will be available through a drive-through system and are by appointment only. People cannot simply just drive up and fill out the form. Those appointments, by the way, will be available Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And so that is what's going on. Hey, James, you are in Georgia this morning. Good morning to you, by the way. I see your comments coming in here. James Outlaw is in Georgia and saying that he really hopes that they're not opening up their state there too quick. And so I appreciate you letting us know. Keep us updated what's going on in Georgia, man. I appreciate you joining us all the way here in Georgetown, Texas from Georgia. But you guys are open back up. How is that opening process going, by the way, there? You know, I know that there's little segments in the way that they're opening things. I think that we're going to see a whole new normal, of course. I mean, I'm wondering if people, as soon as we have the full green light and clear, which I don't think is going to happen for a few months, but I'm really thinking, are people going to reach out and hug each other? Are people going to give each other high fives and handshake? I'm a handshake hugger, man, and I haven't been able to do that. So I'm wondering how all that's going to work out and what's going to happen. We'll see. U.S. government isn't disclosing which companies receive aid under a troubled $349 billion loan program. There's some more of that political talk that they like to throw in. This is from the New York Times. That was part of a rescue package signed into law last month. That makes a full accounting of the Paycheck Protection Program impossible. Here's the deal. How many of you applied? If you're a business owner, how many of you applied for the Payroll Protection Program? I applied based on what some folks had told me to 2 different banks. And I got 2 different, and of course the money dried up within a few days, it seems like. And then you get emails saying, hey, everything's gone. Please continue your application process. If you've already started it, if you finished it, we'll be in touch. There'll be another bill passed. Well, there was another bill passed, but they expect that to run out very quickly as well. I got 2 different responses from 2 different banks. See, at first, this whole situation started where if you were a business owner, and we're talking about like a 1099, no employees business owner, that you couldn't receive funds. And that's a lot of people in the United States, like me and many, many, many others. But then they changed the terminology to say, yeah, if you're 1099 or whatever if you're individual business owner, no employee, yeah, go ahead and apply for these programs. Man, I've applied to every single program, and the responses that I've gotten have just been off the wall that make no sense. One of them was telling me that I didn't supply the proper paperwork, even though I filled out everything on their website exactly and sent in exactly what they needed. So I thought, okay, well, I didn't fill out, if you go to fill out a loan at a bank and you don't fill out the proper paperwork or you're missing something, they tell you, hey, we're missing this one page. Can you send that to us, right? Well, with this particular bank, and it wasn't a local bank, by the way, I'm not going to say the name. I'm just going to say it's not a local bank. But instead of them saying, hey, we didn't receive everything, they said, we didn't receive everything, and your application has been canceled. So it's like, you didn't fill out everything, next. And then I get another email from a totally different bank that I applied to. By the way, they tell you don't apply to multiple banks, but then there's people who said, yeah, you need to because banks are working at different capacities right now. So I applied to a different bank, and then there was something that came back about, it's like I had everything in line, but it was something to do with too many accounts open on my credit report. I'm like, how in the heck does that PPP program relate to anything to do with accounts that are open on your credit report? Because if the money is used for payroll, then supposedly it is treated as a grant that you don't have to pay back. Maybe I'm wrong. 2 different reasons, 2 different banks, and somebody's cooking fish out there because it smells like it. Anyways, that's the way it goes. And I hope if you're a small business owner, I really hope and pray that if you applied that you got your funding. Somebody encouraged me. They said, Rob, you need to fill out more applications. You need to do more. Man, I spent like 6 hours filling out 2 of them already. I'm going to find a better use of my time in 6 hours if they're just going to send me bogus replies about why I wasn't approved. There's several other programs, by the way, that I applied to that I wasn't approved for either. I won't talk about those because we could be here all morning. We'll see what happens. Again, if you're a business owner, I hope that you've received your funding. And we're going to do everything we can here on HRN, of course, to promote your business and let folks know that you are open and rocking and rolling. Driven by tourism, more articles here this morning to wake up to from the New York Times across the United States. Driven by tourism, Las Vegas has been hit particularly hard by the unemployment crisis caused by the pandemic. 1/3 of the city's economy, of course, is in the leisure and hospitality industry. Most of those jobs cannot be done from home. Think about the casinos that a lot of folks, look, I don't care if you gamble or not, you still have to think that there is hundreds and thousands of people that work in the casinos. That is their job of how they take care of their families. They are not bringing home money right now. Businesses and schools in New Zealand will start reopening on Tuesday. That's part of moves in several countries that are beginning to lift restrictions. And then some good news from Britain. Prime Minister Boris Johnson of Britain, who was hospitalized with the virus, returned to work today. And if you've been following that story, some of you may have not even heard about it. Prime Minister Boris Johnson in Britain, I don't want to over-exaggerate and say he was in a dire situation, but the guy was in the ICU and he wasn't doing good there for a couple of days from COVID-19. And thank goodness everything for him has worked out and he was discharged and he is back in business. A little bit of a story here this morning, and I've got a couple of stories if we can get to them. We'll talk about local news coming up here in a minute. Time now 6:28 a.m. on Good Morning Georgetown. Jim Bello, 49, an athletic and healthy lawyer, developed a fever in early March after a hike in New Hampshire. He later landed in suburban emergency room, struggling to breathe. We've heard of that story so many times. The story of his illness highlights the mysteries of the coronavirus and the challenges it poses to medical professionals. Dr. Peggy Lau said it's like they fall off a cliff. She's a critical care doctor at a Massachusetts General Hospital. You see young patients getting sicker and sicker and sicker by the day, despite everything that you know is good standard of care. This is just many, many stories that we have heard from across the United States. North Korean rumors, top Southern Korean officials said there was no basis to the recent claims that North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un was gravely ill. Of course, there was some breaking news about that. In fact, there were some articles going across the internet and some headlines saying that Kim Jong-un had passed away. That hasn't been confirmed yet. In fact, supposedly he's still alive. The leader of the secretive country hasn't made a public appearance in 2 weeks. I told you that we would talk a little bit. That'll about do it here. There's a lot more that the New York Times puts out every morning, and a lot of it gets really political. We're going to archive that. We're going to go to a really awesome story here real quick that I wanted to share with you this morning. This from the Cleveland Clinic. I'm going to read this here, clevelandclinic.org. And this was a COVID-19 patient writing inspiring messages on glass in his room to caregivers. Nick Brown sat in isolation, struggling to survive on a ventilator after being diagnosed with COVID-19. The one window he had to life outside his hospital room became the most impactful window of his life. His caregivers in the Medical Intensive Care Unit, MICU, at Cleveland Clinic, where a dedicated team, including doctors and nurses, treat the sickest of the sick, used that glass pane as a channel for uplifting messages. Nick is quoted as saying, "Every day I was there, especially when I was on a ventilator and full of life support. The staff would write on the window the goals for me to try to reach each day." He's no longer in intensive care, by the way. "They would encourage me. One day," someone wrote, "we will get you home." To return the favor, Nick penned a letter to his care team as he was being moved from the MICU to a step-down unit at the hospital. An excerpt from that message reads, "I watched you work hard to keep me and others alive. Unable to thank you for the time that you poured into me, And although I will probably never get the chance to pour that same love and support into you, I want you to know that I think you are all rock stars. He's talking about his medical care team here at the Cleveland Clinic. Friends, this story and what Nic is saying is emulated all across the country here in the United States, not just the country, but in fact all across our wonderful world. Part of why I left the note on the window is because I don't know that I've ever seen such selfless people in my life, Nic said. I really saw the love of God through them. They don't know me, but they cared for me like I was a member of their family. It's been life-altering. Nic, a 38-year-old IT executive, lives with his wife Cassie and their 2 daughters. He has no idea how he contracted the virus in mid-March. We live in a rural community in Tuscarawas County. When I got a headache and fever and then a cough, I thought I had the flu. But with a medical history that includes bouts of asthma and heart arrhythmia, Nic went into urgent care near his home. Shortly after being given a treatment for suspected pneumonia, well, he passed out. Nic was rushed a few blocks away to Cleveland Clinic Union Hospital in Dover, Ohio, and it was there that he tested positive for COVID-19. Days later, after being rushed to the MICU at Cleveland Clinic's main campus, Nic was fighting for his life. You really don't understand the vulnerability of the human body until you face something like this. There was a time during this process where the hospital reached out to my wife and had to have the discussion about end-of-life options. My message is for everyone to take more seriously what the impact that this can have on one person. According to Eduardo Morales Cabovilla, a medical doctor, pulmonologist, and the director of Cleveland Clinic's MICU, Nic was among the first group of patients with COVID-19 treated at that hospital. He's quoted as saying, "We've learned a lot from Nic in our early COVID-19 patients," he explains. "When critical illness hits, the way the lungs and other organs recover has to do with the disease itself, as well as how we take care of it. We instituted a protocol approach so they could heal while giving him therapies to control the virus." Besides gaining medical insights regarding the virus, Dr. Capodevila and the MICU staff have also devised ways to treat their patients while protecting caregivers as much as possible. These efforts have included a creative approach using room windows to communicate with isolated patients like Nic. And it's not just the writings he emphasizes. We use the OK sign, the thumbs up, and other hand gestures. This virus has been a barrier to communication, but it has also taught us that if you are open to new ideas, there are a lot of different ways to communicate. And that's why Nic's message back to us has resounded on many different levels. It means a lot, said Dr. Capodevila. It's definitely inspiring to see a patient acknowledge the work we're doing, says Jordan Bench, one of the nurses who cared for Nic and helped him write his message. We're always trying to put our patients first, knowing they notice. That is extremely rewarding. And after nearly 2 weeks in the hospital, some good news. Nic was discharged to go home last month, just a month ago on March 27th. Just the ability to get back to the point to where I can pick up my 2 little girls, hug them, and, of course, hug my wife. I feel like I've got a second chance at life. What's your story this morning? Nic's story, very inspirational. And as I was reading this article, I was talking about the windows, and Nic was asking. He was unable at some points during this. Nic asked one of his nurses to help him write his message of gratitude on the glass window because he was too weak to do it on his own. There's pictures on this article. It's my.clevelandclinic.org. If you're on the Facebook live stream, I'm going to post that, and you can click on that link and you can read about it. I think that it is something that we all need to recognize. In fact, St. David's every night, and they've reached out to me, some folks I believe that work there, saying, will you come by to our parade that they have every single night there at St. David's in Round Rock. They do a little nightly parade. You can drive around. And I want to have them on our show, someone representative from that on our show to talk about just how important and how impactful that has been to those heroes that are working on the front line. So for all of you in the medical field, or if you're married to somebody, or you're with somebody, or you know somebody that's on the front line, and you're able to, because you're with them right now, give them a hug and tell them how much you love them and that you appreciate them. Those are our heroes, our unsung heroes during this entire pandemic. We need to continue to come together, friends, and take care of each other. That is what it's all about, especially right now. And my hope and prayer is that we will continue to stay together after all of this is over. Friends, it's 6:35 a.m. Going to step aside and take a break. You're listening to Good Morning Georgetown here on Hip Radio Network. It's Georgetown's hometown station. We'll be right back here in just a few minutes. Thanks for staying with us, friends.
Here's your Georgetown forecast from the Hip Radio Network Weather Center. Mainly sunny skies today with highs around 87. South winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Cloudy tonight, lows around 69. Cloudy skies expected again tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 88. Mid-80s Wednesday with a chance for scattered storms. Warmer Thursday with highs in the upper 80s. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently, it's 63 degrees.
Broadcasting worldwide from the Ashby Real Estate Broadcast Studio. This is Hip Radio Network, Georgetown, your hometown station.
All right, here we go. 6:37 a.m. Where are my 6:30 a.m. Warriors at this morning? We already talked to the 4 a.m. Warriors. Where are my 6 a.m. Warriors? I said 6:30. Let's take it down a notch. Where are my 6 a.m. Warriors out this morning? If you're 5 a.m., you just got left out, guys. Hey, I want to welcome you here to Good Morning Georgetown. Always a true honor, joy, and privilege to bring you this show every weekday morning. Hopefully provide a little word of encouragement, maybe a little inspiration to help you get your day started. And I know that we are taking it back an hour. You can catch this show Monday through Friday now. Instead of from 7 to 9, you can catch it from 6 to 8 every weekday morning. I'll give plenty of you time to get up and get moving with us, wake up with us while you're getting ready for work, while you're eating breakfast. Put it on in the background and listen. And we really appreciate you being a part of this show this morning. James Outlaw chiming in quite a bit, and appreciate you, James, as he is in Georgia. He was talking a lot about what's going on there in Georgia, in St. Mary's, Georgia, and how they are handling things. And he said that he's right at the Georgia-Florida line. I like that. Right at the Georgia-Florida line, about 40 miles from Jacksonville, Florida. And appreciate you. He's been in broadcasting and remote sports since 1983. And you're right, James, it is a conversation. You know, when you're on the radio or anything, I think if you really want to connect with your audience, you just have to have a conversation. And I have co-hosts with me every morning. John Montgomery should be joining us here before too long. He's my Monday co-host over at Roberts Printing. Again, at 7 a.m. for the women entrepreneurs out there, especially you want to listen. Everybody should listen, but Nic Austin is going to be on our program at 7 a.m. She's going to talk about her I Am Here movement that she has started here in Georgetown for women entrepreneurs. But, James, you're right, man. It's a conversation. It is a conversation. It's telling stories. And it's trying to paint the picture for folks to let them know what's going on. And I believe broadcasting is all about inspiration. And we see so many twisted and so many just twisted stories that are really developed in a way to build ratings. Because controversy does spark the interest of people. And people want to get involved when there is controversy. And that sparks the ratings. But you know what else? People also want to get involved whenever there's opportunities to help. And I always want to take a very positive approach to the way that we do things here on HRN, especially this show, is how can we connect with you in a way that provides benefit? How can we connect with you in a way that brings people together? How can we connect with you in a way that helps you and that moves you forward and that provides a lift every morning for you to be able to get moving and rolling and put that smile on your face? Because guess what, friends? That smile is a decision to make every morning. And I'm going to tell you right now that, look, we're around situations to where it is very, very, very hard to put that smile on. And there's some mornings where, guess what, I don't put the smile on. But my focus every morning is to try to put that smile on. And if I can do that, then I've did what I can do today. And I want to encourage you today, no matter where you're at, you may be sitting at home right now, you may be waking up and you're just upset because it's another week. Understandably, you may be frustrated because you don't know how you're going to make money this week to take care of your family. It's a very, very, very deep conversation. It's a very serious thing to talk about. But I want to encourage you this morning, no matter where you're at, friends, put that smile on. Step one, you've already done the biggest step, is get up in the morning. No matter where you're at or what you're doing, and it's morning. Now, Edward, that's a different story. It's 12 o'clock noon in Scotland right now. But if you're waking up this morning, You've already done the first part. That's just getting up and get moving. Second part is put that smile on today. And if you can do that, you're going to find ways to feel a lot better with where you're at. And look, I know it's tough, man. I'm right there with you. Being in the media business right now, it's a tough business. It is a very tough business, but we're all going to get through this together. Frank Miranda, dude, Frank, you know how I love saying your last name, man. Frank Miranda joining us, baby, up and at 'em this morning. Carolyn Martin over at Georgetown Antique Mall, and Carolyn sponsored our HRN virtual dance party week number 5 on Friday. We didn't hit 100 listeners. We were at about 75 or so. But I appreciate Carolyn Martin. And Carolyn, if you didn't get a chance to tune in, I was encouraging people through that 2-hour segment. Of course, we do that every Friday night from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's called the Virtual Dance Party. I was encouraging folks, go by and see Carolyn whenever she is reopened. And Carolyn, if you're still on the stream this morning, can you let us know when you plan on being reopened? Because once you're reopened, I want to encourage everybody in Georgetown to go down to the square and help out businesses, but especially go by and see Carolyn. I've known her a long time, and Carolyn has always supported this community and the schools. She gives back, and we need to give back to her and help her out. So, Carolyn, if you're still on this morning, let us know when you plan on reopening over at the Georgetown Antique Mall. And what's cool about the Georgetown Antique Mall is there are simply gifts for everybody. I've been in there numerous times. I used to help Carolyn back in the day when I had my IT business, and I would love going in her store just to see the things. Most importantly, to see her. But then secondly, to see all the things that she has in there and all of her vendors and all the wonderful items that they have in that store. And to this day, I still drop by once every few months and say hello to Carolyn because I appreciate you, Carolyn, and what you do for our community. So let us know, Carolyn, when do you plan on reopening, and we will send people over there to your business. And thank you for your support here on HRN and the HRN Virtual Dance Party just a few nights ago. Time now, 6:43 a.m. Thanks for waking up with us here on Good Morning Georgetown. Some folks, they say they love this show getting early. You know, we used to do the show, like I said, from 7 to 9, scaling it back an hour. Let's talk a little Georgetown. Who wants to talk Georgetown this morning? I definitely want to talk Georgetown. I told you earlier, and if you're on the Facebook live stream, it's kind of funny because some of the green screen is bleeding through my paper. Subscribe to the Williamson County Sun newspaper. Look, they're not a sponsor of this station. They don't pay me to say that. But I've known Clark a very long time, and the work that his staff puts into this paper is unbelievable. I called the Sun on Friday evening. I didn't expect anybody to answer. And Brad Stutzman, who writes a lot of wonderful articles in this paper, Brad was up there after hour and answered the phone. Now, how many businesses do you know that are larger business? And I consider the Sun, it's a small Georgetown business, but it's a larger, smaller business, if that makes sense. How many businesses do you know if they close at 5, they quit answering the phone at 5? And I'm calling, and especially someone that's the writer. This is a gentleman who writes articles in the paper. He's not part of the administrative staff. And I call up there, I think it was like 6:30 at night. It was an hour and a half after they close on Friday, and Brad answers the phone. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I was prepared to leave a voicemail. And Brad answered the phone. Subscribe to the paper. It's like $50 a year. It's super easy. WilcoSun.com. Check them out. I'm going to read some of the headlines from their articles and throw in a little bit of twist, or my little twist on some of these as well. Did you attend the virtual Poppy Fest? You know, this past weekend was supposed to be Red Poppy Festival here in Georgetown, and it draws in thousands of people. And correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to mess up the CVB's number, Convention and Visitors Center Bureau's numbers, but I want to say there's like 30,000 people that flood the square every year for Red Poppy Festival. Every year. It is the big event here in Georgetown. And, of course, this year, due to COVID-19, not able to have it. But the CVB was awesome and said, let's do a virtual Poppy Fest. Now, they're still going to have the regular, of course, Poppy Fest. They renamed it to Poptoberfest. It's going to take place October the 23rd through the 25th. Hopefully, that's the plan right now. But they had a virtual Poppy Fest, a little virtual fest on this weekend. Did you watch that? Were you a part of that? I was looking, and I think they had about 3,000 viewers or so. That was on Dysfunction Junction. That was a concert that they had on Friday night, just a replay of a concert from Dysfunction Junction, and that kind of got things started. And throughout the next day, featuring guests such as Chet Garner. Those videos got around 700 to 1,000 views. So I don't think as many views as I would have thought, but still awesome that the CVB and the Visitors Center put this on just to kind of help folks say, look, we're still here, we're working, and we're ready for October, though. Pretty awesome opportunity there to be part of that. This year's Red Poppy Festival, by the way, this article here on the front cover of the Williamson County Sun. Just read a couple of sentences here. This year's Red Poppy Festival was a victim of COVID-19, but will blossom into a virtual experience. It happened this weekend. And the City Spring Festival is staged on the square last week. It's the last weekend of April since 1999. Now, how many grew up here in Georgetown and remember before Poppy Fest, though? Before Poppy Fest, I believe it was the Mayfest. We had Mayfest here, Mayfair. That was a huge event. And then before that, it was the Williamson County Sheriff's Posse Rodeo and Parade. That kind of started. That was the premier event when I was growing up. Many of you that are here now that may have not been here back in the 90s or before knew that the Williamson County Sheriff's Posse Rodeo and Parade, that was the big event here in Georgetown. That led into Mayfair. But I remember as a kid specifically, that rodeo and parade that we had downtown, it was like a street dance. Old school, man. That was old school Georgetown. And then that turned into Mayfair, and then Mayfair eventually grew into the Red Poppy Festival. All three wonderful events. But that all started years and years and years ago, and it has turned into, in my opinion, what has got to be one of the most premier events in a small town in the United States, in the Red Poppy Festival. A lot of work goes into that festival, and it is so much fun to be down there on the square and be a part of that. Frank was telling us right here that the rodeo used to have the parade through town. That led to the rodeo arena. Yep, a long time ago, man. But all that was the president that said. I always talk so much on this show that it was always people before us that have led us to where we're at right now. And I really encourage you that every time you hear that, I want you to think about that. I really want you to think about that. That you are at where you're at right now because of somebody else. And that will develop an incredible sense of gratitude in your life. Knowing, I mean, seriously, stop and think about that. You hear me say it, but it just kind of skims over your mind. We are where we're at right now because of somebody else. I want you to think about that because that is the impact that you have on somebody else's life. Some of the things that I'm saying this morning are because of some of the comments that I've received on Facebook with people chiming in and giving feedback. I'm where I'm at right now because of the things that are happening 2, 3, 4 seconds ago, 2, 3, 4 minutes ago. Really think about that, friends. Dysfunction Junction starting that virtual concert on Friday at 7 o'clock. Again, about 3,000 people viewed that video. Then on Saturday, the CVB hosting interactive posts throughout the day that included a virtual 2019 parade video at 10 a.m. There was Chet Garner from the Day Tripper that came on at 2. So pretty cool opportunity there to partake of that. Again, Red Poppy Festival, as you all know that follow it, postponed, will take place October the 23rd through the 25th, renamed as the first ever Poptoberfest. Some other headlines on this weekend, this previous weekend's edition of the Williamson County Sun. Sheriff Chody restarting live PD. This is why it's so important to read these and to stay in front of this and to read these articles because there's information there about the county commissioner's court saying we didn't approve of any of this. I'm not going to try to be decisive or divisive. I think that live PD is a great thing for this county. I really do. What are your thoughts on it? Let us know. Post your comments there. If you're listening on the app this morning, text us. 512-686-2030. Again, it's super simple, 512-686-2030. Leave your comments. Let us know. I think that live PD has been great exposure for Williamson County. I think that the majority of our residents here in this county, and I could be wrong, but I would think that they think that it is an awesome thing for the county. I think that it shows what our county's made of and how our county handles situations. I know it's entertainment, but it's real entertainment. I've seen people on there that I know. I'm like, hey, I know that guy. Williamson County Sheriff's Office is back on live PD, the reality TV show and the rotation. County commissioners they're not entertained or amused. This by Brad Stutzman, Williamson County Sun. Following controversy including sexually charged remarks of one of Sheriff Robert Chody's subordinates allegedly made last year. Commissioners voted, of course, 5-0 in August of 2019 to cancel that contract with Big Fish Entertainment. A lot of folks in town were upset about that when it got canceled. A lot of folks very upset about that. Live PD in its 4th season on A&E. Program consists of video feeds from law enforcement agencies literally all over the United States. Have included Tulsa, Oklahoma Police Department, Berkeley County Sheriff's Department, and South Carolina. The deal, though, is there's a difference between a contract and an access agreement. Robert Chody said that you wanted Live PD. I made sure that you got it back. And he said, yes, we are back on April the 19th. We're back in Wilco through an access agreement. I believe having Live PD in Wilco is a necessary tool for our office for many reasons. In addition, the community at large approves it. Again, what are your thoughts on Live PD for Williamson County? Feel free to comment. We got a lot of folks on the Facebook live stream this morning on not only on the HRN page, but if you're on my watch party on my page. And by the way, can you do us a huge favor? If you enjoy the show, you're enjoying listening, and you're on Facebook right now, just hit that share button, and you can either share it or you can start a watch party. And if you start a watch party, that brings in your audience as well. Now, the only problem is if people leave comments on your watch party, I can't respond to those because I can't see them. They have to click on live video comments to do that. But again, if you could do that, that would help us out. This show is continuing to grow, and it's because of the community support, and we appreciate that. The Commissioner's Court is the only body that can enter into contracts. The Commissioner's Court is the only body that can enter into contracts on behalf of the county. Commissioner Long saying that on Thursday that this is the law. So we'll see what happens. Will Live PD continue to stay on? Jody's brought it back under an access agreement, but it's going to be brought up in a discussion tomorrow with the Williamson County Commissioner's Court. I think that that's been put on the agenda. A lawyer said that calling a contract by a different name doesn't necessarily change it from being a contract. So the access agreement, there's terminology. That's why I'm not a lawyer. A little bit of news there. Do you support Live PD? Do you want it back? Hey, Memorial Day, of course, May the 25th coming up. It's always a very, very impactful day as we honor those that have came before us and those that are currently serving, those that are selflessly have given up their life, and those that have selflessly served our country. COVID-19 going to make some big impacts this year on Memorial Day. There's a lot of folks all across the nation that have had to cancel events on Memorial Day. One of those, of course, the big celebration, and I don't say celebration in a light way. It's celebrating those that serve our country, but it is a big event every year in Sun City with the Memorial Day there that they celebrate every year, and that this year has been canceled. And I was looking at the digital edition of the paper, and I can't find it, so I'm just trying to skim through here. But again, Sun City having to cancel that Memorial Day event that has taken place for quite some time. And see, I had all my notes lined up, and for whatever reason, I can't find it now, even on the digital paper. Anyways, that's the way it goes. It's pretty funny how I can't find that now. But yeah, Memorial Day going to be, the day's not canceled, but the celebrations are canceled. And that's tough for a lot of folks because it's an opportunity to reflect on that and everything that goes with that day. I know many of you, somehow in some way, have been impacted by someone who has served our country. We've all been impacted by those that serve our country, and we appreciate all of you. And I was skimming through the internet earlier too, and just found so many different things that have been canceled throughout the United States. And who knows how long that this is going to continue? I mean, seriously, who knows how long that we're going to stay in this situation to where we don't know when things are going to be able to open back up again. We just don't know. Palace Plays On, Palace Theater will take their Palace Plays On series online. This in the Williamson County Sun, holding its live stream performance of Palace Plays On Thursday this week at 7 p.m. It's the second live stream show premiering on the Palace's YouTube channel. It's free to watch. Students from the theater education program will be joining the show and then singing from Annie and Cinderella. There'll be a drum solo, tap dance, jazz routine, cello performances. The Palace performers will also perform favorite numbers from shows like Aladdin, Hamilton, Dear Evan Hansen, My Fair Lady, and Bonnie and Clyde. The show is a mix of pre-recorded performances from the homes of performers sheltering at home and live numbers filled on the Springer main stage. So, friends, that'll be really awesome. The previous live stream event managed to raise $20,000 in funds to keep the Palace going through this shutdown. The Palace Plays On will feature similar opportunity to provide virtual donations through the show. You can follow the Palace Theater on YouTube. Just search for them, Georgetown Palace Theater. And you can tune in to their channel at 7 p.m. on April the 30th. I think that is really incredible that they will continue virtually. And please support the Palace Theater. A lot of opportunities there that are helping out as well. One other thing, and John Montgomery of Roberts Printing is on with us. I'll bring him here onto the broadcast here in just a few minutes. Something really neat out in Sun City. There's so many wonderful volunteers in that community that help out in so many ways. And one story that really stood out to me among everything else that I was reading in the paper this weekend, Sun City residents have stepped up and raised more than $52,000 during a 10-day drive that was spurred on by social media and word of mouth. Now, this is for a restaurant. Restaurant owner Nels Johnson has a crew of about 60 employees. This was Mulligan's Restaurant, Mulligan's and Nels. $52,000 raised for this restaurant. I had no idea. I knew that it was there, but my goodness, 60 employees. You talk about so many business owners in this community that are trying to keep their employees paid and what they can do during this economy to keep things rolling. Friends, time now 6:58 a.m., and we will bring Nic Austin on, or Nick Cotto. I say Nic Austin. Nick Cotto, Nic Austin. She knows. She'll be on the show a little bit here after 7 a.m. But we've got John Montgomery joining us now from Roberts Printing. John, what's going on, man? Good morning.
Oh, not much, Rob. What's going on with you?
Hey, just trying to get the new waking up at 6 a.m. We call it the 6 a.m. Warriors now, man. And all right,
yeah.
Well, it was the 4 a.m. Warriors actually. I got up at 4 this morning. I don't think I've ever gotten up at 4 in my life.
Well, I appreciate you letting me be your guinea pig today in this new format.
Yeah, you had messaged me last night. And I was like, yeah, man, we're going on a little bit early. You're like, okay, I'll be there, man. So and I know that you've got a lot of things going on in the morning, man, and you're staying busy. Are you at Roberts Printing right now?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, man. Well, I know that you guys have been closed, of course, as far as physically being able to walk in, but tell us a little bit about how you're serving customers right now, because you are still open serving customers, just in a different way, of course, right now. Tell us a little bit about that, John.
Right. We're still taking orders from internet, phone call, email, that kind of thing. And then we're doing pickups from 9 to 11 in the morning, where it's curbside. We'll meet you outside. If you have a payment, we'll take it inside and do it and then bring it back out to you. Also offering a special for any COVID-related signs, birthday signs, or graduation signs. We're doing 15% off of all those.
That's awesome, man. And you know, the city has the school district, and there hasn't been more details yet, but they are planning a parade that's going to take place on, I think it's May the 29th, and we'll see how all that works out. But just an opportunity there to honor the seniors, and so through you guys and providing signage and things as well, that's going to help out with a lot of seniors here in this community. Hey, do you guys do those yard signs too, man? I've been seeing those around town. Those are really cool, like the yard greeting cards.
Yeah, we've been doing quite a bit of the yard graduation signs from schools all over, Pflugerville, Liberty Hill, Florence, Georgetown. And those are some of the signs that are also in that 15% off discount.
Awesome, man. Well, check this out. John making a debut here this morning. Not John Montgomery. He's been on the show before, but here's a debut this morning of something that you're going to hear at least 4 times, sometimes 5 times a day here on HRN. Check this out, John. It's a little surprise for you that you probably knew it was coming, though. Here it is.
Now, more than ever, people want to shop local. Roberts Printing has been serving Georgetown since 1946. Roberts Printing named Georgetown Small Business of the Year as well as Gold Best of Georgetown Best Printer 4 years running, prides itself on fast turnarounds due to quick responses and production. Roberts Printing can handle all of your printing needs to help keep your business in front of consumers. Visit them online at robertsprintingtx.com. Roberts Printing, printing everything but money.
There it is. There it is, John. A little commercial for you this morning, and that's airing now, of course, on HRN. Appreciate all you do, man.
Hey, man, I really appreciate it. You did a great job with that, and the value that your advertising packages and sponsorships bring are amazing.
And it's true. You really do. You print everything but money.
Actually, we've had to do fake money with like coupons on the back before, so essentially we did print money that time.
Now there's it's funny, I was at a one time messing around with a printer, like a copier scanner, real high-end production scanner, and some of those, and I wasn't going to do it facetiously, I just thought, hey, this would be kind of funny to see if it worked, and I put a $20 bill on the glass, and it was like unauthorized, can't scan that. It knows it knows that you're trying to scan money.
Yeah, our copiers will, if you try to scan money, that will stop you because, like I said, we had to do a coupon and they wanted like $100 bill on the back of it, or like half of one, like the drop cards that they just drop down and people pick up, and you go to scan it, it says nope, not happening.
Well, and over the years, I don't know how we're starting to get into this like counterfeit money talk here because we're not counterfeit money, but it's just. I've watched like that show American Greed quite a bit, and I love that show. It's on CNBC. A guy named Stacy, who I admire, his voiceovers are amazing. The guy's like the most unbelievable voiceover artist I've ever heard, and he narrates that show tonight on American Greed. I can't even come close to that guy. But there was one episode about counterfeiting money, and I'm so thankful that there are so many security things now on U.S. currency that makes it really, really, really hard to counterfeit. Because back in the day, it was pretty simple. People would copy. I mean, this guy was printing them on his HP inkjet printer. He found out if he sprayed them with hairspray and put them in the oven that it could simulate currency. And it looked almost real. I mean, it really did. It would pass. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. How did somebody figure out that they could print this on their printer, spray hairspray on it, and bake it in the oven? I mean, who thinks of this stuff?
My question is, how many different experiments did he go through till he got to, hey, let's spray it with hairspray and bake it in the oven?
Yeah, no joke. And this guy was like, some sort of like drug dealer type guy. And so he found out if he did like $20 bills or lower and then would go in and have guys spend that money. So it was this long story. And I was like, what an idiot, because he's eventually going to get caught. And, of course, he did, and now he's serving time in a federal pen. That's a huge crime, man. But spray painting and baking money. I mean, you'd think maybe he learned from his mom how to bake cookies, and he just really liked baking things. And he said, why don't I just bake this money?
Yeah, if you're going to counterfeit something, you don't want to do like the 20s and 50s and 100s because that's what they're going to check.
Yeah. Well, I remember when I was a kid, one really cool thing that they came out with on security, John, was the strip. I don't know if they do it in the $10 bills or maybe they do, maybe even in the fives now. But I remember specifically in the $20 bills, they put that little strip in the middle of it. And I remember my brother, when we were kids, he was ripping apart the money and he pulled that strip out. And we were like, oh, man, we can't use that now. And we ended up going to the bank and they gave us a new 20s. And they were like, don't do this again.
Yeah, I've seen people do that before as well.
So, it's cool how they put in all of these security features in our currency, and we'll keep going from there. Speaking of money and currency, oil continues to drop. I mean, it's not like negative 30, but what is the lowest gas that you have seen, John, yet? The lowest gas prices you've seen yet?
Personally or on Facebook?
Personally, around here, what have you seen?
Personally, I think it was like $1.35.
That's pretty cheap, man. Yeah, I've seen on Facebook, like there's some areas that were like 90 cents a gallon. And I've got a lot of buddies who work in the oil industry. And, as consumers, we think, oh, man, that's awesome. But really, that has such devastating effects on those guys that work in the oil industry because, honestly, they're not working right now. And that is an essential business. It really is. We need gas, right? But there's so much overproduction because of previous contractual agreements. There's so much overproduction now. They don't have anywhere to store it all. And those guys are out of work. They're like, look, we're done. We can't produce any more oil because we got too much of it. And that's really affecting a lot of these guys right now. My heart goes out to, if you know somebody in the oil industry, in the pipeline industry, man, my heart goes out to you guys right now because I know that when things are good, they're really good. But when things are bad, they are really bad. It's one of those industries. It's either you're really hot or you're really cold. And most of the time, you're really hot. Right now, though, it's really cold. And I just want to pray for those guys and just tell them, hey, man, we love you, and we hope that things get back to normal for you.
Yeah, they go out there and work their butts off, and it's a shame.
So, John, what else is going on with you, man? What's new in your world?
Well, I'm trying to wake up. I'm still rocking my mountain beard, apocalypse beard here, and trying to figure out, I guess Abbott has his conference today. You know anything about that?
No, I'll be honest, I don't know about that today. I know that they're supposed to make some announcements regarding more things opening up, but we'll see what happens.
Right, yeah. I think he said the 27th they'd be announcing the next phase or that kind of stuff or other openings, and so waiting to hear about that and maybe actually get a haircut coming up soon.
Oh, man. And I don't want to say I've been lazy. I guess I have, but I mean, I've been working really hard. Let me put it that way. But as far as like personal grooming care, I've been pretty lazy. And normally when I get my haircut, I'll ask them to shave me as well because I usually get a haircut like once a month. And then I usually let my beard grow out and I just let them shave. So it's probably been a year since I've shaved my own beard. Now, of course, not recently. I mean, but the last time I got a haircut was, 3 months ago. So my beard is now grown out, and I just, me personally, I haven't shaved my beard in a year because the barber always does it for me. I like that barber shaving.
Is that the most you've ever grown it out?
No, I've probably had it before. I want to say it was like 3 or 4 inches. Bridget was about to saw it off on her own when I was asleep one night. She doesn't like the beards too much. She likes a good clean beard. Mine right now is a little straggly. That's the problem.
Yeah, me too.
So, well, hey, we'll step aside and take a break at 7:08 a.m. We're going to step aside. We're going to reset here at the 7 a.m. Man, this is normally what time we get going. But now the show moved back an hour from 7 to 8, or from 6 to 8. We'll step aside and reset. When we come back, we've got our good friend Nic Austin here talking about the I Am Here movement starting in Georgetown and women entrepreneurs. Stay with us, friends. We'll be back here in a few minutes. We'll take it to the top of the news with USA headlines, and we'll reset. It says, good morning, Georgetown, here on HIP Radio Network Georgetown. It's Georgetown's hometown station.
USA Radio News with Chris Barnes.
President Trump's denying reports that Health Secretary Alex Azar is on his way out of that job. On Twitter yesterday, the president called it fake news and said the media wants to create chaos and havoc in the minds of Americans, assuring followers that Azar is doing, quote, an excellent job. The reports had claimed the White House was planning to oust him because of criticism of the early response to the coronavirus outbreak. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin is looking for the U.S. economy to rebound this summer.
I think as we begin to reopen the economy in May and June, you're going to see the economy really bounce back in July, August, September.
He spoke on Fox News Sunday. In Georgia, with the virus slowing down, the governor is allowing restaurants to reopen their dining areas today as long as they adhere to many guidelines. And this is USA Radio News.
Balance of nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
I've had a lot of really great days back to back, which has been a huge blessing. Even my doctor told me, because they asked me to bring everything in that I take on a daily basis. He was very encouraged by seeing what I was taking, and he said he didn't care how many I had. He said it's food. And the form that it's in was something that he was very, because he's an avid learner, and he's always researching, and he's always excited to see new things. And he told me this would be good. This will help you immensely with the nutrition that you need.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Start your journey to better health today by calling 1-800-2468-751 or by going to balanceofnature.com, and make sure to receive this special radio offer by using discount code USA.
Police in Baton Rouge, Louisiana say they're mourning the death of one of their own after a shooting as officers were searching for a murder suspect yesterday.
As a result of the shooting, we lost a 21-year veteran, the Baton Rouge Police Department.
That's the chief, who says a second officer is wounded and still fighting for his life. The suspect did surrender after a 4-hour standoff during which they say he fired more shots at officers. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson says he's ready to get back to work after recovering from COVID-19. The 55-year-old returning to number 10 Downing Street yesterday after spending 2 weeks at his country residence. The White House says President Trump spoke with him by phone a couple of days ago, and the two agreed to work together to combat the global coronavirus pandemic. Wall Street futures up at this hour as oil prices do continue to fall. Dow futures up over 100 points. This is USA Radio News.
Broadcasting worldwide from the Ashby Real Estate Broadcast Studio. This is HIP Radio Network, Georgetown, your hometown station.
Here's your Georgetown forecast from the HIP Radio Network Weather Center. Mainly sunny skies today with highs around 87. South winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Cloudy tonight, lows around 69. Cloudy skies expected again tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 88. Mid-80s Wednesday with a chance for scattered storms. Warmer Thursday with highs in the upper 80s. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently, it's 63 degrees.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The switch is on. Welcome to Good Morning Georgetown with Rob and Ken. Waking you up in the mornings and getting your day started with the hottest hits, news, and jokes. Get ready. And now here's your hosts, Rob Hip and Ken Covington.
713. Sounds like an area code. 713 is the time. Where is 713 at? I'm wondering. 713 area code. Let's see where that is. Houston, Texas. Well, that doesn't do any good for us. We're the 512, baby. Right here. Good morning, Georgetown. Thanks for joining us, and welcome here to Good Morning Georgetown on HIP Radio Network, Georgetown's hometown station. I'm Rob Hip. Thanks for joining us as we move back an hour. And the response so far has been pretty good. A lot of folks saying, hey, I'm glad that you're on an hour earlier because as I was talking earlier, we used to be on from 7 to 9 for many years, as you know, and now I'm bumping it back from 6 to 8. And now you can truly wake up with us. I always said waking up with it. Now you truly wake up with us because you wake up at 6 a.m., you start getting ready, you brush your teeth, you exercise, you do whatever you do, and then you're usually out of the door by 7:30 if you're driving to work somewhere, and you got to be there at 8. A lot of people may leave around 7:30. So now you're truly with us the entire morning to get your day started right here on HRN. And I know someone that's very happy to get up super, super early and be with us this morning is Miss Nic Austin joining us here on Good Morning. Nick, are you a morning person to begin with? I was just joshing you. Are you a morning person to begin with or not, Nick? Oh, hold on. I got to unmute you. There we go. Good morning.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Doing better than we deserve. Better than I deserve, for sure. So are you a morning person, Nick?
I never used to be, but I would say I am now. I'm up and out and doing stuff, and yeah, so I guess I am.
Yeah, I see, like this morning, I really struggle. I honestly really, really, really struggle with getting up early in the morning because usually I'm working I'm usually up until like 2 or 3 in the morning, right? So to get up at 4 or 5 a.m., you can't run on 3 hours of sleep. If you can, I don't know how you do it. I can't. And last night, I made a very, very, very hard decision to go to bed at like 8:45, and it was weird. And I went to bed at like 8:45. Finally fell asleep about 9:30. But I'll tell you what, I got up this morning around 4 a.m., and I felt pretty good. I don't know how. And I'm sure at about probably 1 o'clock this afternoon, it's all going to come crashing down.
Right.
But it feels good. Well, Nic, you're one of our amazing sponsors here with the Faith Seed Company, and we had you on just a week or two ago talking about that, and appreciate your sponsorship. But you have started something incredible that you had reached out, and I said, we really need to talk about this. And I wanted to give you that opportunity this morning to talk about what you're doing with a movement that you've started here in Georgetown with women business owners called I Am Here. Can you talk a little bit about that this morning? I think it is incredible, and that's why we definitely wanted to have you back on as soon as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, it all started with a phone call maybe about a week and a half ago from a very, very dear friend. And, we were she came up with an idea, and that idea has since evolved into what it is right now. But we're just watching all the frustration play out on Facebook and in social media of, business owners that are scrambling to get funding. They're scrambling to get this protection, these grants out there. And, what I noticed was that frustration is playing out on Facebook, and a majority of these people that I'm seeing are female business owners. And I'm seeing relief, but there's not relief because this is something that's never happened, right? I mean, this is a new thing for everybody. So I have a nonprofit organization, and I can't be in the studio right now. I can't be doing stories. I've got a lot of projects done around my house, but there's still a difference that I can make in some way, shape, or form. So I thought about coming up with a fund, a gift fund for female entrepreneurs. Right now, we've got women business owners that have businesses right here in Georgetown, and we know them really well. I know you guys probably know them a lot more than me because I haven't been in Georgetown that long, but they work really hard. They're struggling to pay their rent, or they've paid their rent and they don't know where the rent is going to come from next month. They cannot open their businesses through no fault of their own. So I thought about coming up with a fund to have as an emergency fund for a female entrepreneur. So if we can raise money and it always be there, and we never have to face this crisis again as women business owners, there'll be funds available. And because I'm in a unique position of having a nonprofit that solely serves women, that's what my IRS tax exemption is through for. I can do that. I can actually raise funds to give this gift money. Hey, you can't pay your rent. We've got money. We'll help you pay your rent. We give it to the female entrepreneur. So that's how it came about. And the I Am Here was, we're all a community, and it's great when I see women coming together. I absolutely love that. But right now, these women are alone at their businesses. So I'm like, how can I capture this to make it a movement, to make people get on board and to believe in it? So I was sat and I'm like, okay, what can I do? It's got to be simple. It's got to be powerful. It's got to be in your face. And I came up with hashtag I Am Here. Everybody hashtags everything, right? Mm-hmm. So hashtag I Am Here. And I put it out, and my friend, she shared it. And the one who contacted me and who we've been brainstorming, who it wants to stay behind the scenes on this, and it is gone just crazy nuts to where they're hanging these I Am Here signs in their businesses. They're putting pictures. Hey, listen, your women entrepreneurs are here. And I made a video which will premiere today at 9:00 on YouTube. I'm so excited about it to just kick off this movement. And I love it. It's an amazing video. It has so many female entrepreneurs in this video from right here. So
I think it's incredible. And I'm going through, and I'm sure they don't mind. I'm going through and I'm finding, I just did a hashtag search, hashtag I Am Here, and the results that are popping up are amazing. And it's just showing so many women owners around here in Georgetown that are incredible, that are doing such great work, and that they're the backbone of our community, like all business owners, but especially these women who are working so hard and I'm seeing so many of them, and I'm sure they don't mind because they've made it public on Facebook anyways, and I'm actually rotating through a lot of these images that I'm seeing here, Nic, and I think it is just simply incredible. What has the response been from the women business owner community here in Georgetown so far?
Oh, it's been amazing, and I didn't think it would be anything less, because when women come together and they support each other and they uplift each other, I'm telling you, they can just move crazy mountains. They just can do so much for each other. And I have like a couple of inboxes and they're full of pictures. I mean, I spent on Friday night or Saturday 10 hours at my computer just downloading and collecting all of these pictures. And, you know, through this, I've actually got to know other female business owners that I really didn't know, that have sent me their pictures. I've friend requested them. I can't wait to actually physically meet them. So it's just another way to, you know, all come together in this time of uncertainty when people just, they don't know what's going to happen. And, you know, as women, they shouldn't lose that dream and vision that they made happen as a business because of a virus. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, for sure. And I've made it really simple. I just searched, of course, on your YouTube channel. I've made it really, really easy. So for those of you that are listening on the app, I know that you can't see a lot of what we do, but if you're listening on the app or if you're on Facebook, I've made it really easy. This video, you said at 9 o'clock, it's going to kick off, right?
It premieres at 9 o'clock, and I've challenged all women that are female entrepreneurs to hashtag I am here, hashtag we are not broken, because the how we're going to raise money is through We Are Not Broken. And then, you know, hopefully through this, we can make a difference, you know, in giving this money to help out. Whatever money we raise, it's more than, you know, what we had yesterday or an hour ago, but it will go, you know, to a female entrepreneur or numerous female entrepreneurs, whatever the need is. I know the need right now is immediate for brick and mortar female entrepreneurs. That is the immediate need, because they need to pay their rent. They need to know that they're going to stay open next month and the month later. So that's the immediate need. But for the future need, obviously the fund, hopefully it'll just grow and grow and grow, where we can just bless females that have great ideas and want to bring those ideas to this community and to the you know, as we grow outside this community. So,
well, again, we're talking to Nic Austin this morning of We Are Not Broken. She's been a guest on this show just a couple of weeks ago, but she has started a movement called hashtag I Am Here. That's all together, hashtag I Am Here, supporting female business owners here in the Georgetown community. I've made it really easy, Nic, for folks to get to that video. If they were like, well, how do I get to it? And they didn't know how to Google search it or get there, go to tinyurl.com/I am here GTX. So tinyurl.com/I am here GTX. And that will take you right to that video that is going to premiere at 9 o'clock this morning. So looking forward to that. I know that you talked about it a couple of weeks ago, but really quickly, just give us a quick history and overview of We Are Not Broken, because this is the nonprofit that is the catalyst for so much that you do to help empower women in so many things. But talk to us really briefly about that nonprofit and just how you started it and what your mission is.
So We Are Not Broken was founded January 17, 2019. So it's a little over a year old. What it is I give women and girls a platform to tell their scar stories and to facilitate them turning their trauma into triumph, right? So through photography, videography, I have a photography studio right in downtown on the square above Gumbo's. And it's just reaching and empowering women to let them know that they're made for more. And they don't have to cover up or be ashamed because of an idea of what somebody else thinks is beautiful or appropriate or acceptable or normal. Women are amazing, and they need to know that they're made for more.
Well, awesome. And I just think what you do is incredible, Nic, and it's always such a pleasure to talk to you and to have you on the show. And just the passion that you have for what you do is so apparent because you can see it in your smile. You can see it in the work that you do. You can see it all over social media with just how much you want to help out and be a part of women's lives and help them to understand that, hey, you're not broken. We've got an opportunity to do something great. So one more time, just tell us a little bit more about the I Am Here. How can women get involved? And then I guess on this video at 9 a.m., is that going to talk about how people can donate and help out?
Yeah, the easiest way, the quickest way to donate is wearenotbroken.org. Everything has to go through the nonprofit. I've reached out to professional people that work in the IRS, so this is all done legally and through the nonprofit. Just that's the best way to do it. Go to wearenotbroken.org. The video will explain, the whole thing, what to do, how to do it, why we're doing it. And women entrepreneurs, female business owners, hashtag I am here. Let everybody know that you are here. You're here to stay. You're here to make a difference. And if we just come together and show the world that, yes, we're here and we want to make a difference and we want to stay, we want to help, hopefully we can raise mad amounts of money so that we can just give it to you guys, so we can keep you here and we can keep dreaming the dream of being a business owner as a woman.
Absolutely. Well, Nic, we appreciate you. John Montgomery of Roberts Printing is joining us. It's funny because you were on that Monday morning when John was here, so it worked out perfectly. John's our Monday co-host, but John's here with us as well. John.
Hey, Nic, how are you?
Hi, good. I was really glad that you were on again. I'm like, hey, we make a good team on a Monday.
I think we're all like three buddies now.
Yeah, for real.
Well, this, just like everything you do, so powerful, and Georgetown's blessed to have you in this community. It's so great.
Thank you so much. That really means a lot. Thanks.
What we could do, if you would like, I could create an I Am Here sign for you for these women to hold, which would also be dry erased so they could write their business name under that.
That would be awesome. That would be amazing. Yeah.
Awesome.
I
will start working on that today.
Awesome.
Cool.
You guys rock.
We're gonna find ways to keep, if the resources are there, Nic's just gonna keep pouring out ideas, which is amazing.
For real. And I have to tell you, because of the show I was on the last time, the camper is now being delivered and it's getting worked on through another business owner right here in Georgetown. I'm so excited. After a year of it being in storage, it's actually transported, delivered, and it's being worked on.
That's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Nic, appreciate all that you do. And what I would like to do here on HRN, because of course you're one of our sponsors, and that's not why we do this, but we appreciate that. But we also want to help out in the community where we can. This is a very worthy cause. I know a lot of women entrepreneurs here in our community. In fact, many of them have poured into me when I was much younger, that helped me with ideas and helping me to get my IT business, some ideas for that when I was younger, which I'm forever grateful for. And so what we'll do here on HRN is, I think it'd be really cool to have your voice, and I'll work on it with you, and we can we got to do it pretty quick though, within the next couple of days, so that the exposure is there. But I'd like to put together a little PSA with your voice, and we'll air that on the station several times a day throughout the day, so people know about this as we continue to build what we're doing here on HRN. We want to promote you and help out these female entrepreneurs, and plus we need a lady's voice on the commercials as well. So it'd be nice to have you. Will you do that with us?
I absolutely would do that. Yes.
Awesome. Well, we'll work on that and get that done. And I know that we can't meet in person, but there's a way that we can still do that. And I'll be in touch with you the next couple of days. So, well, before we let you go, I want to give you one opportunity again. Tell them more about that video that's premiering and the I Am Here movement here in Georgetown, Nic.
Yep. Women, female entrepreneurs, hashtag today, I am here. Hashtag I am here. Flood social media. 9 o'clock this morning, we are going to premiere the video and launch the campaign officially. Let's raise money so we never, ever again find ourselves in a position to be scrambling for grants that just take forever to fill out the paperwork. I want to be able to give you that through We Are Not Broken. Easy, simple. You need it. It's there.
Well, Nic, as always, appreciate you. I love your energy. Like I talked earlier about how we got to make a decision every day to smile. And, you know, whenever we talk to you, it's like you don't even have to make the decision. It's there. So I appreciate you being on the show this morning, Nic.
Thanks, guys. You guys rock.
Awesome. Well, once again, that is Nic Austin with We Are Not Broken and the hashtag I Am Here movement here in Georgetown to help female entrepreneurs. Again, you can check out her video that is premiering at 9 a.m. this morning, tinyurl.com/I Am Here GTX. That's tinyurl.com/I Am Here GTX. Nic, thanks again for being with us this morning.
Bye, guys. Have a good one.
Bye, Nic.
Bye.
We'll step aside and take a break. Time now is 7:31 a.m. We'll be right back as we take a break. This is Good Morning Georgetown on Hip Radio Network Georgetown. It's Georgetown's hometown radio station. We'll be back here in just a few moments.
Here's your Georgetown forecast from the Hip Radio Network Weather Center. Mainly sunny skies today with highs around 87. South winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Cloudy tonight, lows around 69. Cloudy skies expected again tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 88. Mid-80s Wednesday with a chance for scattered storms. Warmer Thursday with highs in the upper 80s. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently, it's 63 degrees.
Broadcasting worldwide from the Ashby Real Estate Broadcast Studio. This is Hip Radio Network, Georgetown, your hometown station.
Happy Monday, Georgetown, Texas, and welcome to Good Morning Georgetown here on Hip Radio Network. Georgetown is Georgetown's hometown station. I'm Rob Hip, joined as always on Monday mornings with our Monday morning co-host, Mr. John Montgomery. And man, John, it is just another wonderful day here in Georgetown, Texas, and I think today the weather is going to be beautiful. I think that everything is feeling good so far today, man. I got up early and ready to rock and roll and just to see what this day has in store. I'm a little bit excited. I said earlier, though, John, that probably was going to hit me about 1 o'clock from waking up at around 4 this morning. It's already hitting me right now, man. So
you got a long way to go.
Yeah, hopefully I don't fall asleep. I have this habit. I don't know if this affects you or whoever else out there it affects. This is horrible. It usually takes me, if it's at home, if I'm at home, it will usually take me about 3 to 4 days to watch a movie. You follow me on this?
4 days?
3 to 4 days to watch a movie.
Are you watching Titanic or what's going on?
I'm watching 10 Commandments. No, that movie's, what is that, like 5 hours? No, man, I don't know what it is. And years ago, I took a sleep study, and I was diagnosed with something called like cataplectic narcolepsy. And they wanted to put me on this medicine called Provigil that supposedly like does something. Supposedly I don't go into enough REM sleep at night. And so throughout the day, I'm just really, really exhausted and tired all the time. And I've been that way since I was out of high school. And I thought, everybody says, oh, it's because you work a lot. You never slow down. But I'm like, but I really kind of do slow down. I work in broadcast media, which, yeah, it's a lot of work. But it's not like I'm out there in 120-degree heat putting roofs on houses, which I got the most admiration for those guys. You're talking about guys who are out doing construction. I mean, there's nothing that I'm doing that's even remotely close to that kind of physical labor. But then the doctor was telling me, well, it's mental. It's mental exhaustion that you're going through, and that can be the same as physical exhaustion because it's your brain is going so much that it just tires you out. I never really understood that. But the reason it takes me like 3 to 4 days to watch a movie is I'll go in the house, and let's say in the living room, and I'll sit down in a recliner. Within about 20 to 30 minutes, I'll usually fall asleep. It never fails. I could be wide awake, and in 20 minutes, man, I'm asleep. every time. I can't even. I do it at the theater too, man. I'll go to the movie theater, and I can most of the time stay awake at a movie theater, but usually about 30 minutes into the movie at the movie theater, 20, 30 minutes, I start getting really heavy-eyed, and I just have to force myself to stay awake, man.
Maybe your brain's just kind of winding down where it's like, oh, I'm not actually having to work. I'm just kind of relaxing, watching the show. And
yeah, I don't know, man. It's just the weirdest thing.
Then the couch monster gets you.
Yeah, or the movie chair monster, whatever you call it. And it's weird because I can eat like a lot of sugar and things like that. And instead of me getting super hyper, I get really tired. Although the other day, I'm going to say this, I drink these Arizona teas. Oh, it's so good, man. They used to come in these bottles. They were glass bottles back in the day, and it was weird because it had like indentions to where you could actually put your hand around the bottle and your fingers, like there was indentions for your fingers, which I thought was funny on a bottle. You know, kind of a grip for the bottle. And it was this Arizona stress tea. It's called Prescription Stress Tea, RX Stress Tea. And somehow I got hooked on that stuff, and it's really good, and it also gives you energy. It's not like an energy drink, but it was a really good herbal energy stress relief tea. And they went from the glass bottle to a plastic bottle, and then they went to like this huge can. And the problem is I only find it, if I go pick 10 convenience stores right now, maybe one of them will carry it. Well, I found one the other day, and I bought one because I had to get gas, and I found one in the store, and I bought it. Dude, I was like going back to 5 or 6 years old, super hyper, man. I had this uncontrollable hyper energy, and Bridget was looking at me like, what's wrong with you? I was like a little kid. We have a trampoline that I got my nieces a while back thanks to an awesome person here in Georgetown that had gotten rid of it and said, hey, does anybody want this? And my nieces would love that. And so I put it up over at my mom's house because that's my niece's grandma, of course. And man, I got on that trampoline. I was doing flips, front flips, bouncing around. I'm 36 years old, man, on a trampoline having the time of my life.
You're lucky you didn't hurt yourself at your old age.
Dude, I woke up really sore. I'm still sore from it. And it was funny because Bridget got on the trampoline with me, and I had forgotten how to do a front flip, and I was getting so mad, John, because I could not remember how to do a front flip, even though I was doing them before she got on the trampoline. Just immediately my brain locked up, and I was like, how do I do this? She's like, you're going to break your neck. Anyways, a lot of fun growing up, man, and it's cool to, trampoline. Did you ever play on a trampoline growing up?
Yeah, absolutely.
That was my number one favorite thing. The neighbors down the street had one, and so we lived on that trampoline in the summers. My parents never got us one because the neighbors had one. We lived on that trampoline. We would sleep on it. We'd have sleepovers on it. We would put a sprinkler under it in the summer. That was a lot of fun, having a sprinkler under a trampoline. And then as we got older, of course, we started getting a little bit heavier so we could really make each other fly up into the air. And I think there's like a 250-pound limit on those trampolines. We probably had about 800 pounds on that thing as we got older.
Yeah, I've seen some bad injuries. Excuse me, some bad injuries from those.
One of the one that I put up at my grandma's, it has a net, or my mom's. For my nieces, it has a net that goes around it, a little safety net. And at first, I was like, I don't like. Now that I put it up, this thing is pretty incredible. But that trampoline that the neighbors had, John, there's so much weight on it that we knew. It's funny. Guy got we were jumping on that thing. The spring started popping, like breaking. That's when you know you got too much weight on a trampoline, man. So, well, hey, a lot of people in the community. I was so thrilled to have Nic on the show this morning briefly to talk about her initiative, John, and I think this is such an incredible opportunity for folks in our community to come together, and we're seeing that all over town. So many different initiatives, and that draws me into the next thing that you and I have been working on. And I want to encourage anybody out there that's listening, and look, time is starting to run out now. If you're a business who needs help, you may have some financial needs and you did not receive grant money. Look, we want to be very clear with you. We want to help. We want to find a way to help. The way to do that, we need to know that you need help, though. Because what I would hate for to happen, John, we're going to have this auction coming up in May. We've already received numerous items. We need help with that as well. But what would really, really hurt my heart is that if businesses came to me after the deadline to let us know that you need help and saying, I need help. We're not going to be able to accept any business that does not fill out that form before the deadline at the end of this month. And we say that because we need to know how to disperse those funds. And so what I'm getting at is if you're a business that needs help, I've had a lot of people, John, reach out to me, and many of them have signed up. But there's been several who have reached out several times but have not filled out that form. So I want to be very clear that if you need help, we want to help you. If you're a business owner, visit hrngeorgetown.com/support. Make sure that you fill out that form because time, honestly, is running out. We are April the 27th. You're only going to have through Thursday to fill out that form. We will not accept any more businesses on that form starting May the 1st. So really Thursday is your last day. It's hrngeorgetown.com/support. Let us know that you need help. You may be struggling to pay rent right now. You may be struggling to try to find a way to keep your doors open. You may be struggling trying to purchase products that you need. Look, I really don't care the reason. What we care about is helping you. And we want to be there for you. So go fill out that form, hrngeorgetown.com/support. If you're a business owner, maybe you know of a business owner. Now, John, what's going to happen with that? We're going to hold an auction coming up in May, an online auction that's going to benefit businesses. Do you mind talking a little bit more about that auction, John? You've been a big part of this, and we've received a lot of items, but to be honest, we probably need about 30 or 40 more items.
Yeah, we have received quite a bit of items, and we'd love to get some more. Basically, there are several ways to benefit from it. So if you just want to help and you want to donate an item, you're in a good spot. You don't need help personally or for your business. Just donate an item. Rob will put that URL up for you. Let's say that you do need help and you have an item you can donate. You can donate that item and either ask for the proceeds to be put in the pool for everybody to share, including your business, or you could say, hey, I need the funds from this. So here's the auction item, auction it, and then your business will get the funds. Or you could even do a 50-50 split where you get the funds and then 50% goes to the pool. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible to help your business and other businesses as well.
Yeah, we want to make something that is just really straightforward. And I know there's a lot of folks that the city and the chamber put together that grant. Those have already all been given out. There's a lot of people that unfortunately did not benefit from that, which is understandable. We have so many people in the community, so it's hard to try to reach everybody. We're trying to fill those gaps and those holes. And so, again, I'm just going to say it one more time here because I want to be very clear. We need you to fill out that form. It's going to break my heart that on May 1st somebody's going to come up to me, John, and they're going to say, hey, we need help. And we have talked about it so much on this show. We cannot accept any new applications as of May the 1st. So make sure that you let us know. Share that with your friends. It's hrngeorgetown.com/support. Fill out that form and let us know if you need help. And then you are going to be able to be the beneficiary of this auction and those that are also filled out that form. On the flip side, you're a business owner, as John said. Maybe you're an individual in the community. You'd like to donate an item. You can do that at hrngeorgetown.com/auction. That is hrngeorgetown.com/auction is how you can get involved. This is a very tangible and a very easy way. I've had some businesses, John, reach out and say, well, I don't really have anything to donate. And I've asked, do you provide services? Well, yes, I do. I said, could you provide a gift certificate? Well, yeah, I didn't think about that. So you don't physically have to have a product. You may have a lawn care business and say, you know what? I don't mind donating a lawn mowing certificate. You may have a spa like Tori over at Spa Lux, who has been gracious. And by the way, congratulations again on baby Boston. I saw a little picture. Very cute. Congratulations. Tori has donated through an employee, I believe, or another business had bought some gift cards and given to us for the auction. And so we appreciate Tori and those businesses helping out as well. So there's many ways. And if you want to help and you just don't know how to help or how to get started, contact us. We're in the business of being creative. That's what we do in media. We're in the business. John is a sign designer and a graphic artist, a graphics professional, a printing company. I'm a media company. We're in the business of being creative and promoting your business and putting you at the front, and we want to know how can we help you. So if you need help, that's how you do it, John.
Let me add to that no prize for the auction is too small, because we can bundle that with other stuff to make a, let's say you add a $10 gift card to an ice cream shop or something. We can, bundle that for a date night package with a movie and a gift card to, like Gumbos or something like that. So, no auction item is too small, because we can make little baskets or packages out of them.
Yeah, and we've received, some, what is it, the alcohol liquor basket or whatever you call it. I mean, I quit drinking at the end of December, but I'll be honest, man, I've been thinking about tearing into those, but I'm not, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. But we've had a lot of folks step up, and those are always a very popular item. So yeah, there's no item too small. You got a $5 item, that's okay. Don't be embarrassed by that. If you want to help, you can help. You don't have to provide a $1,000 item. Any amount will help, because you know what? You're helping out our fellow business community here in Georgetown, and that is what is important right now. We need your help, and the businesses need your help. Please help us in promoting that. And I talk about it a lot because I have a heart for businesses. That's one of the main driving reasons that I started HRN Georgetown. One is I love broadcasting. It's my passion. But then two, I love connecting people and bringing people together in a commercial way to where we can promote you, where there's no restrictions on the things that we can do to promote your business in the community. We're not under a nonprofit umbrella. And there's a lot of nonprofits that do great work, and they all have their purpose in the community as well. But our purpose in this community is to promote your business on a very commercial level. And we're able to do that because we don't have any restrictions on the way that the business is designed. So I want to say that and just be clear one final time. If you need help, fill out the form, hrngeorgetown.com/support. If you've got an item you'd like to donate, you can donate that item also at hrngeorgetown.com/auction. We appreciate you helping out, and that is a very easy and tangible way to give back to our community. And, John, the response so far has been pretty tremendous. We just need a little bit more. I'd say about 30 more items, and I think we'll be set. I think we've got about 15 or so right now. So I wanted to get to about 45 or 50. And the way it's going to work, it's going to be an online auction. Real simple. Same service that I've seen many others use. I think it's called 32 Auctions. I noticed it about 2 months ago, and I said, man, this is going to be incredible. Really awesome, easy opportunity. Online auction. We're going to live stream it right from the HRN broadcast studio. And I'm going to Vanna White, is that her name? From what is that? Wheel of Fortune, Vanna White,
Wheel
right?
of Fortune.
Yeah, Vanna White's been in contact with me. She's going to be here at the studio and present those prizes. So I'm just kidding. She's not going to be here. Maybe I could get John. I'll pay you, John, to print me up a Vanna White a little stand up, and we'll put. I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that. Anyways, we're having fun this morning, friends. Thanks for joining us here on Good Morning Georgetown. You can catch the show every weekday, Monday through Friday, from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. We always have guests on from 7 a.m. to around 7:30, 7:45, and appreciate you. One way that you can help us is just share this broadcast, share this page, let people know that we're out there and we exist. John, in March, very thankful and very humble for this. We had over 4,000 unique listeners on HRN in March. That's what I love about the internet aspect is, we're not data mining and all that, but we do have to capture logs because we have to do reporting to the music companies. We pay royalty fees for every song that we play here on HRN. And we can't tell, and we don't care to tell, it doesn't drill down to your house, but we know what area as far as what town you're in because that's an IP address. It's on the internet. But we're able to also, because it's internet only, we're also able to determine the number of listeners that we have on the station. So 4,000 unique listeners back in March. That's because of you, Georgetown, and we appreciate that and excited about it, man. So we're going to keep rocking and rolling and keep growing, and at the front of it, it's always going to be about this community, and that's what we do. And John, you and I are working on some pretty exciting things that we can't talk about just yet, but we're really building a brand here in Georgetown of what I consider is going to be a really awesome opportunity for businesses in our community as far as marketing. And I feel like we're really building a great marketing platform across many different avenues now with Roberts Printing and what we're doing here at HRN, and then another project that you and I are about to get started on. It's going to bring a lot of value to our community. I'm excited to announce that. We just can't announce it yet. We can't let the cat out of the bag. So, the cat food is still in the bag, and wherever the cat food is, that's where the cat is. So we'll take the food out of the bag a little bit later. Hey, John, today, you know what today is, man? We got 4 official national day ofs. You want to take a guess on what any of them may be? Because they're always so random.
Breakfast taco day.
Well, you're having that's a good one. Is there a national breakfast taco? That's not it, but is there a national breakfast taco day?
For me, it's every day.
It's every day. It's real. It's national hashtag Rio Bravo breakfast taco day every day for. I'm gonna. You know what? That's got me thinking. National breakfast taco day. You know, there is a very important week coming up next week. It is a small business week, and it's always the first week of May, and that's coming up here in Who started American Express started that. It's a shop small. That's every year, and that's the first week. And so especially during that first week, we want to help promote your business. You can always reach out to us on HRN, and we can describe how we can help you out. There is a National Breakfast Taco Day. I guess it's just National Taco Day. It's October the 4th. So maybe on October the 4th, we can do something with Rio Bravo, man. That would be incredible. Have a little promotion of Rio Bravo National Taco Day. And John Montgomery, the spokesman of that here for Rio Bravo Tacos, man. Hey, today's National Babe Ruth Day. National Babe Ruth Day. What an icon in baseball, man.
Old Herman.
National Babe Ruth Day today. George Herman, Babe Ruth Jr., born on February the 6th, 1895. He was nicknamed, of course, the Bambino and the Sultan of SWAT. Spent 22 seasons in the MLB, played for 3 teams from 1914 to 1935. This from National Day Calendar. Setting records in his time for home runs, slugging percentage, runs batted in, and on bases plus slugging. In 1927, he was the very first player to hit 60 home runs in one season. What's incredible about that is back then, they weren't doing steroids. This was straight up Babe Ruth, John.
Incredible.
Straight up Bambino, baby! First National Babe Ruth Day. It was held all the way back on April the 27th, 1947. That's 1 year after you guys opened, John. 1 year. Wasn't it 1946 was Robert's Printing, right?
Yes, sir.
74 years. You guys have been entering your 75th year. My mom was born in 46. So that is crazy. And John,
I haven't been here the whole time.
Yeah, I was saying you look pretty good for being in business since 1946.
I moisturize.
Yeah, it's the print toner that you guys use. You after hours you rub it on your face. It's some special print toner, moisturizing toner, right? Just kidding. John doesn't do that. But I was thinking we have so many wonderful businesses here in Georgetown, John. But I was thinking, is there any business in town, when we talk about local, and like that commercial says for your business that we put together, that people want to shop local now more than ever, is there any business in Georgetown that has been around as long as you guys have? And I'm sure there is, like Georgetown Title Company. I wonder how they've probably been around for a very long time. But I'm just trying to think, is there any remaining businesses in Georgetown that were open in the 40s that are still open here today?
What about the Sun?
Yep, that is one. Great one. Williamson County Sun has been in existence since, I want to say I think they were around before Georgetown was officially founded in 1848. I may be wrong on that. But the Sun, they've been around for a very long. In fact, they have never missed an issue of the paper. Did you know that?
No, that's incredible.
You think about all of the weather scenarios and all of the things that this world has seen since the late 1800s or the mid 1800s, and the Williamson County Sun has not missed one single issue during that time. That is unbelievable. But that's right. The Sun, that's one. I'm just trying to think if there's anybody out there on Facebook. We got a lot of folks that are joining us. If you can think of a business that's been around in Georgetown since at least the 1940s that's still in business, let us know. That's something really cool that we should research. Because I had no idea. John, I've known you've been here for a long time because, in fact, before you guys became the owners, we used to, I go to Roberts now, of course, but before you were the owner, we used to go, there was only, and this was before the internet, so you just couldn't get on the internet and search for things. Roberts Printing was the only place that we knew of where you could buy ribbon for your printer or for your typewriter. We used to go to Roberts Printing as a kid. I remember going there with my dad to get ribbon for my mom's manual typewriter. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, we had a customer that came in. He's got to be in his 80s, and he worked here during high school. And he brought an old picture of the old building, and we have it actually posted above our door.
How cool is that?
Yeah, we get that a lot. It's like, man, I worked here in high school. I worked here 40 years ago.
Yeah, I was looking here. Okay, here. Yep, that was right. Georgetown title, 1893. So those are three businesses, right? And I know that goes way back, but 1940s, from the 1940s and back, Roberts Printing, Georgetown title, Williamson County Sun.
Obviously, the university.
The university, that's a good one. That's 4. Some, there's just in the school district. That's 5. The hospital, but the new hospital that was back in the, I want to say, 80s. So yeah, just incredible. Think about that, friends. That is the history and the legacy of our town. Is how many of those businesses have been here for so long. One restaurant that I know that's been here for a very long time, and it's one of the few remaining what I call original Georgetown restaurants. There's 2 of them that come to mind right away. And I'm not downplaying any other restaurant because we have a lot of good ones, John, but there's 2 that come to mind right away that have been in this community for a very long time. Pit Barbecue and, of course, Bob's Catfish down in the park. And, man, Bob knows how. I thought Bob was retired. He had a retirement party, and he's still in business. He just can't give it up, man. When you go that's one thing you can't give up in life. If you're a fisherman, you don't give up fishing. And I guess if you cook fish, you don't give up cooking fish. Bob is incredible. I'm going to tell you right now, friends, if you want something to eat today, go support Bob. I know that they need the community support as well. Go over there and see Bob. I shared his post the other day. Go see him. If you're a business that's open right now in Georgetown and you want people to know that you're open, we've got another opportunity here on HRN. No charge. We just want to get your name out there. You're not going to get a free 30-second commercial on the station, but we will promote you on our website. It's hrngeorgetown.com/open. Again, that website, hrngeorgetown.com/open. Let us know that you're open. Couple more this day in histories, John. We got about 3 minutes. It's crazy. It's already 7:57, man. The morning's going by fast. All right, man. I know you're a meat eater. You know what today is?
Steak.
Prime rib.
Prime rib.
National Prime Rib Day. Boy, you talk about a great day to cook a prime rib. Oh, man, I'm looking at a picture of this, and I can't eat a lot of red meat anymore because of the stomach thing back in January. I do, though, every once in a while, but I eat a lot of chicken and fish now. National Prime Rib Day. Today. I'm not talking about the McRib from McDonald's, friends. I'm talking about a real straight-up prime. I like McRib, though, dude. It's fake, and it's so good. You ever have that? It's so good.
Yeah, I've had it.
Oh, man. They comes. I just can't wait for McRib. See, I'm going to eat that. Couple more today. Before we go here, we got 2 minutes remaining, John. It's National Tell a Story Day. Happens April the 27th of each year. Encourages people of all ages to share all kinds of stories. I think this is really cool. Participate in this today. Whether it's read from a book, one from your own imagination, or an actual story from a childhood memory, the day supports gathering with friends and family to share those stories. Boy, there's never been a better opportunity than right now to share stories. How cool is that?
Yeah, and you have a lot of people at home waiting for you to share it.
Yeah, I think that's really cool, man. And then also today, I didn't even know what these were. When I hear the Devil Dog, I think of that warplane that's out at Georgetown Airport that they fly around. That's what I think of when I think of the Devil Dog. Well, no, the Devil Dog, it's also a treat. The day honors service members dubbed with the nickname and the Devilish Snack Cake, with a layer of cream filling sandwich between 2 layers of Devil's Food Cake. Devil Dogs became a tasty single-serving treat in the mid-1920s. That's it, Devil Dog treat. It's National Devil Dog Day today. Can you believe it? John, we got 1 minute. before we go, final remarks, man, before we get rolling, brother.
Oh man, just like every week, I want to thank the people out there doing the work, the first responders, healthcare professionals, and the people out there stocking those groceries. Just want to say we appreciate y'all and keep doing a great job.
Awesome. Well, John, we appreciate him. We appreciate you. Thanks for being part of this show. And we will catch up tomorrow morning. We got guests already lined up this week. Tomorrow morning, we will hear from Michael Price, the Georgetown Beard Club. They are announcing a new project that they are working on, which is really awesome. So we're going to announce that project. And then on a Wednesday, we're going to have Eric Leslie of the Saudi Mind, who is going to be on our program and talk about mindfulness and just how to relax and take it easy. And then we've got more guests that are coming on Thursday and Friday as well. So we've got a busy week. Excited about it. John, as always, appreciate you for being our Monday co-host. I'll see you a little bit later this morning. And ready to rock and roll, man. I hope you have a great day, buddy. Appreciate all you do, man.
All right, you too. Thanks, Rob.
So once again, Mr. John Montgomery over at Roberts Printing. The time now, of course, is 8 a.m. I almost said 9 a.m. It's now moving on here. I'm going to go ahead and end that, and we'll cancel this and that. I always said, friends, if you've never joined us before, I don't have a producer here, so I'm having to kind of click and produce and do everything on my own, but I love doing it. Hey, I want to thank everybody for being a part of this program today. I'm going to tell you guys here in this Georgetown community, your support is incredible of our station and what we have been working on here. It's a station for you. It's a station that promotes this community and the community that I was born and raised in that I love and a passion to help you out. And so for our commercial sponsors out there, I sincerely appreciate your support. If you're interested in advertising on our station, it's not just this morning show, friends. It's 24/7, 365. We run commercial spots from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. all day long that really give thanks and promote businesses in our community. Extremely affordable advertising packages that's not just that 30-second commercial that plays 150 times a month, but it's also the interaction on social media and the interactions of giving back and allowing you to be part of this community through our platform, which reaches a lot of folks. We appreciate you. Thank you for your support. If I can ever help you, just email me, rob@hrngeorgetown.com. That's rob@hrngeorgetown.com. We're going to keep rocking and rolling. We're going to keep expanding to take care of this community, and we appreciate all that you do. Thank you, friends. As I end every broadcast, I want to remind you today that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other, friends. Provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there this morning needs you. We'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early, 6 a.m. Hope you're my 4 a.m. Warriors. We'll talk to you as well tomorrow. Good morning, Georgetown, and God bless. We'll see you next time here on Hip Radio Network, Georgetown. It's Georgetown's hometown radio station. Take care, friends.